Yes, so like you mentioned, the Chief Justice was clear on Tuesday when they delivered their judgment. She said that, look, the judgment will be ready. Their full reasons will be ready or will be filed at the registry of the Supreme Court by close of yesterday, November 13. And it will come with their orders. So as she said, we followed suit to find out whether indeed that judgment is ready for us to examine the content of it, because as we speak, we do not know the reasons. We're talking about interpretation of Article 97, 1G and H. And remember that when the Chief Justice was delivering that short decision, she said that the two justices dissented on jurisdiction. Yeah. So there's more that we need to look out for.
Jurisdiction of the Supreme Court.
You notice that one of the issues that came to the fore was that the Supreme Court do not have jurisdiction to sit on the matter. And that
when it comes to the declaration of seats vacant.
That particular matter that they have in head, you know, the lawyers of Speaker, from the word go, they say, no, this amount of interference on Parliament's work. Parliament is doing its work, and then the judiciary is interfering in it, so they do not have jurisdiction. The Supreme Court was clear, 5-2. Two of them dissented. So we want to know more, want to learn more. But yesterday, as of the close of day, the judiciary closed at 4 p.m., even though the registry will be under behind scenes doing other. Sometimes I know that they close around 5, 6, sometimes 7 p.m. depending on the situation. But the official time at 4 p.m. I was there, and I was told that that judgment, the full judgment, is not ready. We are hoping that today it will be ready. But what is clear is that the Chief Justice's indication that the judgment of the Apex Court will be ready yesterday didn't come to fruition. It didn't happen because we're told that the judgment was not ready. So we hope that it will be ready today, and we'll get it and then examine its content in relation to all that. But in relation to all this, you notice that one of the justices, Justice Murtala, she was part of the judges who agreed that the Supreme Court had jurisdiction to deal with this matter. And guess what? She's retired. Justice Murtala retired yesterday.
Wow.
She's 70 years.
So that was her last case?
So yesterday was her last case. He had a valedictory ceremony where she delivered her last judgment. So yesterday was her last sitting. The Supreme Court.
So one of her last acts was
the Afenyomakin's case. So she's 70 years and she has retired. She served for over 30 years in various capacities at the judicial service or the judiciary. So that is one of the latest information that I have for you. Yesterday, it was a fully packed Supreme Court, and then he was, in fact, given the opportunity, she has to bow for the last time. And sometimes, you know, moment like this, very emotional. Very emotional when you know that it is the last time. You take memories, you go back, and then you think about so many things. And in fact, you know the issue about Major Mahama, the military officer who was killed at Denchira Obuasi. She was the one that handled that case. And at the end, 12 out of 14 persons who were arraigned were found guilty, and all of them sentenced to life in prison, including the assemblyman for Denchira Obuasi, Mr. Yaopa. So that is in relation to that. So one shortage at the Supreme Court. Justice Mariam Owusu, the Justice of the Supreme Court, has taken a bow. She has retired from the bench. So that is one of the things that I have for you this morning in relation to this very case. So the judgment is not ready. We'll follow up to see whether it's ready.
Well, yeah, follow up today because we want to know whether the judgment is ready.
Yes.
Also, the case involving Bishop Salifu Amoako and two others, and also the case involving his son.
Yes.
The juvenile.
Yes.
They were in court yesterday.
Both of them were in court today.
Yesterday.
Court, yes.
So what happened?
So in relation
People are very interested.
The one involving Bishop Elisha Salifu Amoako, the wife, Moha Amoako, and one Linda Owusu Bempa, a sales assistant. That case came on before the court yesterday. His Honor, Mr. Samuel Bright Aqua, handled the case. State prosecution, or the prosecutor, indicated to the court that in the morning of yesterday, they filed the first batch of their disclosures, but they are yet to file the witness statement. They served the defense lawyers that morning, immediately it was filed. But a copy is not on the docket of the court. And so they think that the case have to be adjourned for them to come back later part in November. And when that happens, the court is anticipating that once they file the witness statement, now they will conduct case management conference. And when case management conference to sort out the document that has been filed, whether all of them have received what prosecution says that it filed. It is the same thing that the defense has raised. If the defense also needs some more document, they will ask. And the disclosure has to do with the fact even document that you will not even rely on, you are expected to file because we are told that it's a process in relation to. So that case will come back later part in November 28th. So that is how that particular leg of the case involving the parents, Salifu Amoako, the wife, and then the one other. Then you asked about the son. Yes, the son was also in court yesterday, the juvenile court. He has already pleaded to not guilty to 8 counts, including 2 counts of manslaughter. 2 ladies have died, and they have since been buried. In relation to the first one that I spoke about, Salifu Amoako, for the first time, I saw relations or relatives of the deceased in court. They were in court yesterday. About 6 of them yesterday were present in court when that case was called. So in relation to the young boy, the 16-year-old boy, yes, it is not open. That particular case is not open to the public because of the age of the accused person. Yes, he's young, and so the juvenile court is not open for the public. But that case has been adjourned to November 20th. That will be next Wednesday, because the interval of adjournment always have to be a week. The longest it takes is a week. So that he will also come back on November 20th. So both parents and then their son were in court, irrespective of their 2 separate cases.
And has the boy been granted bail?
As we speak, that is not clear whether he's been granted bail or not. He has not. It's very difficult getting information in relation to this very case. When the parties are out, prosecution is tight-lipped, the lawyers on the matter are tight-lipped. Information also from the registry is also very sketchy. So sometimes it is very, very difficult to know what happened in there. But the only thing that you know is that the case has been adjourned to November 20th.
All right. So, okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yes.
We'll see what happens. So, let's talk about what we're expecting to come up in court today. The case of what's the name? Is it Gucci?
Yes, Gucci Youngster.
Gucci Youngster.
Gucci Youngster.
Gucci Youngster.
Yes.
Gucci Youngster.
He said that Sexy Dondon is never his name.
His name
Dampare
is
gave him that name.
So
why Dampare gave him that name, we don't know yet.
Daniel Asiedu.
Yes.
He's back in court today?
Yes, he's back in court. And yesterday I told you that he has ended his personal evidence to the court, or that he wants to tell the court about this whole matter. Willingly, he has finished telling the court. And the long and short of it is that I did not kill J.B. Dankwa Edu. I did not know J.B. Dankwa Edu before the Dampare showed me his picture. I did not know the house of J.B. Dankwa Edu before Dampare ordered his men to take me there. The fingerprints and the footprints that you say that it is mine, all of them cannot be mine because it is not me who killed J.B. Dankwa Edu. People who can volunteer more information to the prosecution or to the court, the wife, the mother, and the children who were present in the house. And some police officers that he claimed that the prosecution mentioned initially went to the home. Those people, he said that they were not produced in court. None of them name was mentioned, and those people have information to the court. But Mrs. Sefako Bache, Principal State Attorney, today, at the last court sitting, when Esiedu ended his evidence in chief, asked him one question. Today, she'll have the opportunity to scrutinize Sexy Dondon. I still mentioned Sexy Dondon.
Gucci Youngster.
Gucci Youngster. Yeah. On the evidence that he's giving before the court. So this case is gradually getting to a close, or we are getting closer to judgment day. Right. So today, that is what we're expecting. Grilling of Daniel Esiedu in relation to this matter.
There's another attempted murder case.
Pius Ayoma.
Pius Ayoma's case.
Yes.
That's also coming up today?
That's also coming up. And Mrs. Sefako Bache, Principal State Attorney, is also handling this case. A young man who attempted to allegedly to kill his former boss is in court, and prosecution is calling witnesses. And today we expect that more of the prosecution witness will come to court and testify in relation to this. He has pleaded not guilty, including robbery, including assault, sexual assault, and of assault, and all of them. The prosecution is saying that he committed the act, and we need to produce witnesses, and prosecution is adducing evidence by way of bringing witnesses to court. So today we'll hear more or know more in relation to this very matter.
All right, and finally, there is an election dispute case that we're expecting today. Tell us about that.
You mentioned how many days to the election?
23 days.
23 days.
Yes.
Little above 3 weeks, right?
Yes.
So Samuel Apia Dankwa, as you can see on your screen there, is facing the EC in court today. He's filed an injunction seeking to stop the EC from printing the ballot paper because he ought to be given a chance to represent, to be on the December ballots that the EC is printing. So he's filed an injunction. You know, he's one of the candidates who were disqualified. He's an independent candidate. He was disqualified. He said, no, the EC didn't treat him fairly. The EC ought to give him the opportunity. There were times that in 2016, the Supreme Court even ruled that Papa Kwesi Indum, even which one was even much closer to an election, was given the opportunity to correct some of his errors. So give me opportunity and let me be on that. Today, the High Court in Accra, presided over by Justice George Ampia Boni, will decide whether to grant that interlocutory injunction or to allow the EC to go ahead with whatever it has started earlier. So that's one of the things that we also look at.
Because the EC saying they've already started printing the ballot papers.
Yes, especially even when Madame Ekadonko's party was disqualified.
Even that, they
the
are
EC
still printing
that
it.
They are maintaining. Maybe they can, because nobody will be there, they can put someone like
So what about those that have already been printed?
Well, you have a point.
It's even the, you know, the country millions of Ghana.
The EC has money, so it can reprint.
The EC doesn't have money.
If the EC decides,
it's our money.
If the EC
it's me and you, our taxes. We want our taxes to be
what
wasted.
about if the EC decided that it was the Madam Ekanoko's party qualifies to go? What would have happened?
If it qualifies to buy, well, the ballots have already been printed with Madam Ekanoko's name in there already.
So
now that they've been disqualified, they've still, because of expediency and cost, decided that they are still going to maintain Ekadonko on there, and they will find a way to perhaps blot it out or something when we are going to vote.
The question that I'm asking is
right, so that we don't waste, because we've already printed a lot. Otherwise, all those ballot papers that have been printed will have to be discarded, and more money has to be spent on printing new ballot papers again.
I think it was a wise decision that the EC
that is a waste,
there.
you know, and it is me and you, our taxes, that's how going to be used to fund that. So it means all those that have been printed, it goes down the drain.
But the taxpayer has never been accountable to us. The taxpayer has never been accountable. They use our money and they tell us what they want to do to us. Sometimes they tell you we don't care, we will not even account to you and all that. But it is what it is.
Well, I hear that Kofi Akpalu doesn't agree with the EC continuing to print the ballot papers because it says a dead person cannot be on the ballot paper. But, I don't know. Let's not engage in waste because it will be waste. It means all those ballot papers will be wasted.
Absolutely. When I heard the EC's decision to maintain the ballots as they are, I was happy.
Yeah, so that we don't.
Common sense has spoken here.
Yeah, we don't spend on it, and it would have even been incumbent because all the parties have their numbers that they've been campaigning with and couching all kinds of slogans. Or if you ask them to come and do reballoting, it will be hell.
I think the EC's law are silent on how situations like that.
Yeah, but so perhaps they know how they are going to get all of those things out there.
Be dealt with.
Yeah, but thank you very much, Murtala Inusah, for bringing us court today.